Hello, my name is Marusa Jonas, and I'm food nutrition health educator, and I come from Slovenia. In 2011, I was recruited to come here as a track and field athlete. I joined the track and field family, and I just loved it since. I went to University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I finished my undergraduate degree here and also my master's degree just because I just couldn't leave. I loved it so much. I was 13 years old, I believe, when I started high jumping. I was encouraged by a PE teacher. I was actually a contemporary dancer during that time. And then I gave it a try. I pretty quickly qualified for world championships for my country. And then I just focused all my time in that sport. And then in college here, I mainly focused on high jump, except my senior year, I also competed in the long jump and I represented the university at Big Tens as well. When I was a senior in college, that's when I really improved my PR. I think it was like 4 inches in that 1 year. I think that's when I finally figured out like my diet and all the other factors that were affecting my performance. And that's when I started dreaming about possibly making it to the Olympics, which made it about a year for me to qualify. You basically had to jump that standard height. So that time it was 1.93 meters, which was 6'4". So if you had that height, you were technically qualified if your country decided to take you. But because my country only has 2 million in population and I was the only one high jumping at that level at the moment, I was automatically qualified when I jumped that height. But to make all this better, I jumped that height at the national meet at my home city, where my family was watching me. So it was just an amazing day. 6'4" is my PR. I'm 5'9". Fun fact, I was the 3rd shortest jumper in the Olympics in 2016. So I'm actually considered short for a high jumper. Qualifications of the high jump that morning started really early. So we had to leave the Olympic Village at like 6 in the morning to then drive with a bus to the stadium. I remember I was so nervous. I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I might just vomit right now. But when I stepped onto the track, everything went away. It kind of felt like any other track meet. It really wasn't a lot of people just because it was early morning and it was qualifications, but that made it all like so much better. But then as soon as I started jumping, you just kind of fall into that auto mode and I was just able to embrace that. It was helpful to have some friends there that we were familiar jumping with each other, and then that I was able to have my coach there and then the teammates in the stands. Before the first jump, I always described this that my legs feel like jello, and it's just hard to break that. Just have to break the ice. So after the first jump and after I made it, and then I walked to my coach, and he would always have something, some criticism to say, like, how do I get better? But that day he looked at me and he said, great jump, just keep going. And I could not even believe it. And I'm like, okay, I got this. I love experiencing food. Food's kind of my passion. So that was the best part about these trips. And then just making connections. I think now having connections all over the world and calling them friends, that's very special.